who has the Yay! You did Christmas!
Picture this. You say P, E, G, and your child's face lights up, and they shout, pig! No flashcards, no letters, just your voice, 3 sounds, and a little brain doing something quite remarkable. That is called oral blending, and it starts right here.
Hello, welcome to Dynamic Learning.
Hi, I'm Jane, and welcome back to Dynamic Learning, the channel made by parents for parents. We've done the research, so you don't have to. This is episode 3 of our Phonics blending series for parents of children age 4 to 5. Last time, we looked at sound play, rhymes, syllables, and first sounds, building up your child's ear for rhythm and patterns in spoken language. Today, we are building on that with the next stepping stone, oral blending. This is the step where children start hearing individual sounds and pushing them together into a whole word. Still entirely in speech. No letters yet, no open books, nothing written down. Just listening and joining sounds. That distinction matters. We'll come back to why in a bit. Quick question. Has your child ever picked up on a word that you've used and they've just found it really funny and they can't stop repeating it? Or the way you said it has made them laugh and they start repeating it back to you in a silly voice? Let me know in the comments below. I love to hear the silly, goofy things that children come up with. Right, on to oral blending. Here's the plain English definition. Oral blending is when a child listens to a sequence of separately spoken sounds, like k, a, t, and merges them together to hear and say the whole word, cat. No written letters involved, just listening and joining. So you say the sounds, they hear a word. That's it. At this stage, the sound comes from you model it. Then you give the answer yourself straight away. The child isn't being asked to guess. They're being shown how the sound works. Over time, they start jumping in before you do, shouting out the word before you've had a chance to even say it. That's a sign that the skill is developing. One key thing to note right here. Stick to single-syllable words. Short, clean, no cluster at the start. Words like hat, cup, leg, fish, dog. Not words that have difficult phonics rules in them, such as spoon, chair, rain, train. Those adjacent consonants make it harder in the early stages. Here are some things that may appear, and they're worth paying attention to when they do. Following sound talk instructions in everyday moments, like stand, p, and responding to the final word even though it was broken into separate sounds. Enjoying games where a soft toy, puppet, or robot character speaks in separate sounds. There's something about the playfulness of this that excites a child's learning. Naturally joining in before you finished. Over time, they start blending ahead of you, shouting out the word first. Beginning to segment and blend words themselves as part of play without being prompted. Now, these aren't milestones to track or boxes to tick. Children come to these in their own time and in their own natural way. What you're looking for is the general playfulness of the idea. So why does this stepping stone of just hearing sounds matter? It builds the exact same mental skill a child will need later on when reading a written word. When a child learns to read k, a, t, and blending them together is the very same one they've been practicing here. Listening to adults model oral blending prepares them for that process before a single letter has been introduced. The other thing it does is it introduces the idea that words are made up of separate sounds and that these can be merged together too. That's not obvious to young children. Many haven't consciously noticed it yet. This step introduces that learning through play, through repetition, through the fun of robot voices and soft toys, rather than a sit-down lesson. The skill being built here is real. The games that we're playing, they're just vehicles to help them to get them to where they need to go. Here are a few games that you can play. Nothing to buy, nothing to set up, and they all easily slot into your daily routines. So let's jump in. Let's start with toy talk. This can happen at any point of the day. Just grab any soft toy. That toy speaks in sound talk. It can only speak in separate sounds. The toy whispers a word to you, and you say the whole word out loud.
Okay, let's find out. He wants to know if you like Do you like that? Apple. Yes!
I like apple.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, you were right. High five.
The next game you can play is called Robot Instructions. This is perfect for daily play or when you're getting dressed. Give physical instructions in robot voice, but only break up the final word. Instructions are normal. The target word is in the sound. Children tend to love the physicality of this one. It's a game and it's got movement in it. Try touch your head. I know my robot voice isn't the greatest, but you get the idea. The next game is Cross the River. This is where you give each child a small object or picture. Call out its name in sound talk. If they're holding on to that object, they blend the word out loud and cross the imaginary river. A line on the floor, a crack in the pavement, a doorway. This can be something like,
Who has the Yeah, you can go to the Who has the Yeah, you can go to the
The last game is story time sound talk. While sharing a familiar rhyming book, occasionally say the final word of a rhyming line in sound talk. Then immediately blend it yourself.
But don't feed the what's that? Coo! That's right. If you feed one, then all will come. What's it saying?
Don't feed the coo.
Coo, coo, coo. Ooh.
This one works best with books they already know, so the word is predictable and the game feels fun. You're not asking them to do anything. You're just making the sound structure audible inside the story that they already know. Let me know in the comments which one of the games you enjoyed the most. I think the robot game tends to be the most popular, but let me know what your favourite was, or if you made up one of your own. There are 3 patterns worth discussing right now, because they're very easy to slip into, but also very easy to fix. Pattern number 1, asking questions in between. You say p, I, g, and then, I wonder what that word can be. The problem is the pause with a question. It turns a modelling moment into a test, and some children freeze or switch off or start guessing randomly. Instead, try giving the word immediately yourself. So that would look something like p, I, g, pig. No pause, no question. The goal is to model the joining of sounds until your child naturally provides the word before you do. Adding an to sounds. Instead of saying s, t, it would sound something like s, t. When you add the to consonant sounds, the sounds don't blend cleanly. they become harder to join. Instead, try keeping sounds clean and pure. S, m, f. No added vowel at the end. It makes a real difference to how the blended words sound. Using long or complicated words. Helicopter. He-li-cop-ter. Words with adjacent consonants or multiple syllables are a lot harder for oral blending in those early stages. Instead, try swapping them out for single syllables, short, clean, clear sounds. Hat, cup, cat, fish, dog, bed. Build up gradually. Don't start with the hard ones just yet. All of these games already live in your everyday moments. Getting dressed, snack time, the car journey, bedtime. None of them need expensive equipment to be bought or set up. Just your voice, a little bit of time, and some good imagination. The skill you're building here, blending sounds into words, is the same skill that your child is going to apply when they eventually start reading written words. What you're giving them right now is practical experience before they start using those letters. Next up is episode 4, Letters Meet Sounds. This is where your child starts to link specific letters to the sounds they represent, and where the oral work that you've done here starts to connect to the written page for the first time. See you all there.